All right, let's dive in. Picture this. You're bringing the whole family to Hong Kong. The peak tram, dim sum,
Oh, the food, right.
but then bam, the housing hunt. Especially if you want a place that actually works for everyone. So today, we're all about service departments. Are they as family friendly as they sound?
It's a big question,
Uh-huh.
especially in a city like Hong Kong where space is, well,
Precious.
exactly. So for those new to this, what makes a service department different and why are families even considering them?
Yeah, good point. It's more than just a hotel, right?
Way more. Think of it as the best of both worlds. You get that apartment feel, separate rooms, a kitchen.
Which I'm seeing in our research is almost always included. Hallelujah for parents of picky eaters.
Huge. You're not stuck with restaurant food every night, which helps when everyone's adjusting to a new culture. Plus, dietary needs. So much easier to manage in your own kitchen.
Okay, but how do they stack up against just renting a regular apartment? Is it just those fancy extras, or is there more to it for families?
There's definitely more to it. Let's say your kid's school placement isn't confirmed till you arrive. With a normal lease, you're kind of stuck.
I see what you mean.
But service departments,
Yeah.
many do month to month, giving you that flexibility to move once school's sorted.
That's a huge point I hadn't even thought about. And another thing that jumped out the rent often includes utilities. No surprise bills piling up. Gotta be a budgeting dream for families.
Totally simplifies things. Plus, think about gyms or pools. You might not need those separate memberships, which can add up for a family. But speaking of budgets,
Are there times those included costs could still backfire?
good catch. Some things might be extra, like laundry beyond a basic allowance or parking if it's not included. Always got to clarify that stuff up front.
Smart move. So, beyond those perks, what should families really be scrutinizing when picking a service department? What are the must-haves with kids in tow?
Safety comes first. 24/7 security, CCTV, secure entry, those are non-negotiables. Also childproofing. Window guards, non-slip floors, even cabinet locks can make a world of difference.
I'm feeling more relaxed just hearing that. And space, gotta be key, right? Cramming everyone into a tiny place won't work for long.
Absolutely. Open plan layouts are great so you can keep an eye on things while cooking, working. Having separate sleep areas for parents and kids also helps. Sanity is precious.
It's about having room to breathe, for kids to play, adults to have some downtime. Now, Hong Kong has so many different vibes. Which neighborhoods actually shine for families? Where should we even start exploring?
If you're after that tranquil vibe, strong community feel. Discovery Bay is a favorite. Spacious apartments, tons of green space, a bit slower paced. Perfect if that's your family style.
Sounds idyllic, but beach lovers, Repulse Bay seems like the spot.
It is stunning. Waking up to ocean views, upscale dining, that luxurious vibe. Of course, luxury often has a price tag.
Speaking of, I'd love to get a sense of what a family could actually budget for in these areas, wildly different depending on the neighborhood.
Let's say family of four, two-bedroom. Discovery Bay, you're looking at maybe $4,000 to $7,000 USD per month. Repulse Bay, being more upscale, could easily be double, especially for larger or fancier places.
Okay, good to have some ballpark figures. But beyond the beach or peace and quiet, some families want to be in the heart of it all, right?
Totally. Sai Kung's a great example. It's like Hong Kong's back garden, full of hiking trails, beaches, a more rural feel, perfect for active families who love the outdoors.
So we've got tranquil, luxurious, outdoorsy. What about school-focused families? Where are those international school hubs?
Kowloon Tong and Pak Fu Lam are popular choices. They've got some of the top international schools in Hong Kong, which is a huge draw for expat families.
And for those everyday outings, especially with kids, good public transport is essential. Which areas nail that?
Oh, Central, Sim Shat Tsui, Wan Chai, all incredibly well connected by the MTR, Hong Kong subway. You can zip around the city, so convenient with little ones.
So we've covered location, safety, the apartment itself. What LSE can make or break the experience for families? What services, amenities should we be thinking about?
Uh, that's where those extras we mentioned earlier really shine. On-site recreational facilities, for example. Having a playground, a pool right there. It's a lifesaver when you need to keep kids entertained, especially during those Hong Kong summers.
Convenience is king, right? Speaking of which, what about childcare and babysitting? I imagine that being a huge need for families settling in.
Absolutely. Many service departments offer on-demand babysitting, or they've got partnerships with local childcare providers. Gives parents peace of mind, flexibility, especially if both are working.
It's about having that support system when everything else feels new. And, okay, gotta ask, housekeeping and laundry services, are they truly as glorious as they sound?
They can be. You're in a new city, exploring, adjusting. The last thing you want is laundry piling up. These services free up your time to focus on what matters, enjoying Hong Kong with your family.
Okay, sold on the concept T, but now the practical stuff, budgeting. How can families ensure they're getting good value, not hit with surprises later?
Transparency is key why. When you're researching, ask about the pricing structure. Don't be afraid to ask about potential hidden fees, laundry charges, parking, even extra bed costs.
Better to know up front than be shocked later, right? And I imagine it's worth negotiating lease terms to suit your family's needs.
Definitely. Ask about flexible options, like month to month, or the possibility of extending without penalties. Many places are open to working with families to find that right fit.
So it's about being proactive, advocating for what your family needs. But with so many variables, it can be overwhelming to even start.
Absolutely, it's a big decision. Why don't we give our listener a moment to digest everything? What's standing out to you? What are your priorities? What can't you live without for family life in Hong Kong?
I mean, it really is so personal. One family might prioritize that killer view, while another needs to be near a park. It's a balancing act.
Totally. And what seems important before you get there might feel totally different once you're actually living in Hong Kong.
That's so true. It makes me think, even beyond choosing the perfect service department, moving with kids is a huge transition. What helps make that process smoother?
Preparation is key. Even before packing, visas, school enrollment, notifying your bank. A detailed checklist helps avoid those last-minute scrambles.
Oh, I can picture it now, jet-lagged, digging through boxes for some crucial form. Nightmare. And speaking of adjusting, the kids are going through it too.
Big time. Involving them in packing, even small ways, can help. Letting them pack a special box with their favorite toys, books, it gives them some ownership over the move.
It makes them feel like they're part of the adventure, not just along for the ride.
Okay, so you've landed, the chaos is settling, you're in your service department. Now what? How do you actually start feeling at home in Hong Kong?
Explore, explore, explore. Walk the neighborhood, find those local parks and playgrounds, figure out where the grocery store is, the pharmacy.
It's like a treasure hunt, right? Exactly. And it helps kids settle in too, having those familiar landmarks nearby.
Makes sense. What about meeting people? Hong Kong can feel pretty overwhelming at first. Any tips for making those initial connections?
Don't be shy about reaching out to your neighbors. Hong Kong is so diverse. Chances are you'll find other families in your building who are new too.
I love that we're all in this together vibe. And beyond your building, how do you tap into that wider expat community?
So many resources. Playgroups, sports clubs, cultural events. Anything that fits your family's interests. It's how you meet like-minded people, build that support system.
Being proactive, finding those shared interests, putting yourself out there. Sounds like the key to a smooth transition is a mix of planning and adventurous spirit.
You got it. Every family's experience is unique, but those are the ingredients for a positive one. It's about embracing the challenges, celebrating the victories, and remembering you're not alone in this journey.
We've talked about so much. Service departments inside and out, the neighborhood settling in. But I want to bring it back to our listener. What resonates with you? What are your must-haves for family life in Hong Kong? Is it that Discovery Bay community vibe? Or maybe Repulse Bay calling out to the beach bum in you?
Or perhaps it's Saikung and that adventurous spirit.
Or maybe it's top-tier schools, easy transport, being surrounded by amazing food. There's just so much.
It really is personal, isn't it? What matters most to one family might be totally different for another.
That's what makes this deep dive so great. We're giving you the tools to find your answer, not just a answer.
Exactly. We've laid it all out. The good, the bad, the neighborhoods, what to think about when making the move. Now it's about taking that info and making it work for you.
So if a service department feels right, what's next? What can our listener actually do right now to keep the ball rolling?
Start digging into those neighborhoods that sparked your interest. Look at actual properties online, contact those service providers, maybe even connect with families already living there.
Time to move from what if to let's do this.
Exactly.
And remember, you don't need to figure it all out today. Take your time, explore, and trust your gut.
Couldn't agree more. It's a big decision, but it's also exciting. You're starting a new adventure as a family.
We've covered so much ground, from the tiny details of service departments to the big picture of building a life in Hong Kong. I hope you're feeling informed, empowered, and maybe even a little inspired to take that next step.
It's been fantastic sharing these insights and hopefully sparking some lively discussions around the dinner table tonight.
Couldn't have done it without our expert. Thank you so much. Until next time, happy exploring, everyone.